Don't make this the part of your swing that breaks down first. The takeaway, we have to start the swing right to make the rest of the swing be more natural and flow correctly. This will allow you to take this straight to the golf course with the right concepts to play better golf immediately. Let me explain to you exactly how to do it. The biggest fault in takeaway is the club being rolled in. And it gets rolled in because of what the forearm does, what the wrist does, what the thumbs do. And you'll just see there how the club then gets behind me too early. Now, generally what happens when it goes behind me, the club then either needs to lift and then I stop turning because of it, or I come over the top on the way down because, again, there's no lift and the arms have gone up and the journey is very much in, up and over. So today we're really looking at how we get that perfect takeaway. Simply, the concept would be almost that the hands go more in and the club head goes more out. So we're looking for that kind of relationship as we swing back more so. Purely because, again, the common fault is more this way. So the more we can get the feeling of the handle in, club out, is a great way of perfecting the takeaway. So I'm going to share with you 3 different ways. So way 1 is very much conceptually, imagine there's a light beam coming out the end of the shaft here. I want that light beam to shine at my body for as long as it possibly can in that initial takeaway. And when I do that, you'll see that I get the relationship with the club head. If the light beam goes to target, you will see there how the club goes inside my hands. So we're trying to keep the light beam at my body until the club gets to left arm parallel with the ground. Then that light beam will point down to the ball to target line. So we're simply just going to make a swing where we feel how long can I keep that light beam at my body. And that changes the relationship of the club and the handle, so it affects your hand path and the club head center of mass and shaft relationships as we swing back. So that would be way number 1. It's a pure concept idea. Way number 2, this is what I call a constraint or a touch drill. What we're going to do is hold the golf club at the bottom of the handle, take our setup as we would do normally. Then in the backswing, I'm looking for that butt of the club to hit my thigh as I swing back. So I'm looking for that constant touch. If I don't touch, I know my hands have misbehaved. So I need to get that touch all the time in order to get the relationship again to be correct. So then we can go ahead and hit shots where I get the touch and then continue the swing. And again, as we've already said, getting the initial part of the swing correct is vital. Nearly always, the first part of the breakdown in the golf swing happens in this phase here. So if we can get the takeaway on the correct arc or path, the rest of the golf swing then doesn't have to manipulate as much in order to get back to impact correctly and consistently. Way number 3, and again, I love my DIY, not really, but it's a tee just taped to the shaft. And again, it's done horizontally on top of the shaft like so. The idea again in this, if I'm moving the club back, and I'm taking this inside, you'll see the club head comes inside the hands, or you'll see the fat part of the tee there rotates up into the air. That gets that club very lofted and open and rotated in. So what I'm looking to do in the takeaway is keep that tee peg to be pointing down to the ground with the fat end and trying to keep it in line or even outside my hands. Those are the 2 key points of this one drill. So getting that tee peg to orientate right is more an external thought. It's away from me, so it's kind of visual. So it gives me a quick direction of what's going on. You could combine the torch and the tee, and that would work on both elements. But as I said, if you get the tee right, nearly always the hands will be right as well. So you can focus just on that one thing. And just getting the tee and sellotaping it onto your shaft or blue tack, put some blue tack on there, it will give you instant feedback of what you're doing with that shaft in that takeaway. So we're looking all the time for that tee peg to be pointing towards the ground. When the left arm again gets past parallel, it would then start to rotate and work on a different arc. In terms of wrist cock, as we're doing this, the tee peg is coming above the hands. So it's kind of to the ground and above the hands, in line or outside the hands is ideal for this part of the golf swing. Again, if it's very low to the ground, there's not enough wrist cock or radial deviation, and obviously then the more the wrists don't cock, the more chance there is that the club works inside. So we're trying to load that club in the correct direction, in the correct relationship, in order to start the swing correctly, to allow the rest of the swing, hopefully, to free fall in a very natural way. So rehearse it, tee to the ground, tee above the hands, and try and go ahead and make that happen on the real swing. Don't be scared to make small, slower swings initially just to feel the positions. When we look to transport it to your real swing, we can add some more speed and make it more natural. And it doesn't matter then if the positions don't stay quite as sexy and good as the real rehearsal swings. What we're looking to do is influence your swing. As we said earlier, the takeaway really is the first part of the golf swing that generally causes things to go wrong. So let's try and start the swing the right way in order to make the rest of the swing more natural and more flowing.